Have you ever stopped and wondered how many of my core beliefs are actually mine and how many were handed to me by my parents, society, or the culture I grew up in? A lot of us do not realize everything we believe about success, relationships, or even how we should look, be, and act are rooted in external influences. It's like a software program running in the background that you never really questioned. So tell me why you should keep living by a script written by someone else. Think about something simple like the way you dress. Do you dress the way you want, or are you trying to fit into a specific image? Even habits like drinking or smoking or coffee, are those choices that you really and truly made on your own, or were they influenced by others? Here's a very powerful exercise to kick off this video. I want you to take a piece of paper and on the top write my beliefs, and you're gonna list everything that you wholeheartedly believe in. It could be about yourself, about relationships, about success, and then beside each bullet point, draw a line back to where you got that belief from. I believe in love at first sight. Okay. Where did that come from? Did I watch a movie that convinced me that? Did my friends tell me that? Did my parents fall in love at first sight? Where did I really get that belief from? And then more importantly, I want you to ask yourself, is this belief really true for me? The best example I can give, and I've heard multiple times, is with women that are scared to drive on the highway. They have this unbreakable fear of driving on the highway. You want to know what the funny thing is? The woman that was really scared of driving on the highway never drove on the highway herself. She took on a fear that was her nan's or her aunt's. And for whatever reason, they have that fear, and chances are it's not even a fear of their own. It's a fear that they got from someone else. And here comes the grapevine. It just continues over and over and over again. So breaking free starts with recognizing what is not yours. Hi everyone, welcome to or back to my channel. If you couldn't tell already, this video is going to be about how to validate yourself, okay? Because if you couldn't tell already, we live in a world where people do not know how to think anymore for themselves. We are constantly being controlled by our peers, by the media, and the narratives that they push out. But if you ever want to be a person with a personality, with authenticity, with unique individuality, that's never going to happen if you cannot think for yourself. And a lot of women run into a lot of problems because they are not validated by themselves. So they get into these really toxic relationships and are very easily manipulated by people. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I would suggest checking out my last video. So this is kind of an extension of that video, and you're here. So congratulations, we're off to a great start. Let's talk about developing critical thinking skills. This is my Roman Empire. I can talk about this all day. Once you start questioning your beliefs that you feel really truly make you who you are, it's time to take it a step further by thinking critically. What is critical thinking? Critical thinking is going beyond the surface. It's not just asking, why do I believe this, but also examining the evidence behind that belief. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. You cannot have a fully formed opinion or belief on a topic unless you have done your due diligence in looking at the pro and con arguments. There's a reason why there is a saying, there's always two sides to the story. It is very, very easy for you to make up your opinion about something if all you hear is sunshine and rainbows. But unless you've truly explored the anti-argument and could conceptualize it not from a biased state, then you can fully say, okay, I like so-and-so, or I don't like so-and-so, or I believe in this and I don't believe in that. That's what critical thinking is. It's not just saying, oh, okay, I wonder where this came from. It's saying, okay, this is where it came from, and now what's the counter argument to that? Can I wrap my head around another version of this narrative that I've projected in my head? And now the big question, does it hold up when you challenge it? Once you put your belief through the ringer, if she still stands tall, okay, then you can have that opinion with a good conscience. Challenge assumptions. Us people with big egos love to assume things. We love to assume. If you've ever read the book, The 4 Agreements, one of the 4 agreements is don't assume anything. And I, to this day, live by that. I try my best in whatever I do to not assume things, because that's how you get into a lot of problems. Number 2, evaluate evidence. What is the concrete proof? What is the facts? Not the I like this, I wish this was, no. What is the proof? What is the proof? I don't want you sitting around moping about this man that's not yours. And, oh, why can't I have him? He'd be perfect for me. No, the version in your head of him is perfect for you, but not the actual facts, not the evidence of him ghosting you on your first date. That's who he is. But in your head, you're saying, oh my God, no, if he only knew, if he only knew. You're assuming that that version of him does exist, 1, and 2, that he would live up to those assumptions. And then finally, from those, you can draw your own conclusions. conclusion. People that are very set on certain beliefs and opinions tend to have a very low IQ. Why? Because they cannot critically think. They only accept one side of the story blindly. And the worst part is they attach their whole identity to that story, regardless if it's true or not. And they'll defend it with their life. They'll call you all sorts of things because this is the truth. This is it. And they will accept no counter argument, no rebuttal, nothing. They don't even want to hear it. That is not a sign of a really passionate person. That's a sign of a very illiterate, incompetent person. And no subscriber of mine is going to be incompetent, okay? Don't get it twisted, babe. So the next time you have a really, really strong opinion about something, good or bad, I want you to stop, pause, and ask, why do I feel this way? What is the proof that supports this? Is there another side to the story? And just you wait, you're gonna come back to this video and you will be surprised at how often you'll find gaps or contradictions in what you thought was the truth. Changing your thoughts starts with you in the present moment. So go ahead and do it with small everyday things, like the next commercial you see when you're watching TV, or a comment someone makes on social media, something that gets you a little riled up, a little triggered. So when you start to challenge your thoughts and eventually start to challenge pretty much everything and question everything, you'll build such a mental clarity because there's now a sense of confidence and evidence to back up what you're thinking. Becoming a very strong critical thinker goes hand in hand with validating yourself because you're not looking for external resources to give you the answers that you think you have. You start going inwards, and that's where the change is always going to happen. Do you ever feel like the real you is hiding somewhere, afraid of stepping out because you don't fit in? Here's the thing. Authenticity isn't just about being true to yourself. I know, sounds a little funny, but it's about valuing who you are, even when you stand out. Self-validation means I'm okay with being different. I'm gonna say that again. Self-validation means I am okay with being different. I'm okay with not fitting into every box society has for me. You're preaching to the choir right now, okay? Because this has been my whole life. And as somebody that's had to overcome this obstacle, when you embrace this, something amazing happens. Your self-esteem skyrockets and you stop seeking validation from everyone else. And on top of this, you have the most incredible glow up you'll ever have in your life. Okay? There's one thing that's true to me as my authentic self is that I am a person of truth. I'm always going to keep it real. What you see is what you get, and I spit facts. So, standing in your authenticity is not easy. Challenging social norms is not easy. Most likely you're gonna get a lot of backlash, a lot of people that do not understand. That's okay. When you start leveling up, raising your vibration, the people that are in your life currently energetically do not have room in your new projected reality. So go about it with grace. Give people compassion as an extension of compassion for yourself, okay? Think of it as a form of freedom. Do you want to know when potential is limitless in your life? It's in the unknown. It's in times of uncertainty. More importantly, it's in the present moment. So stepping into that, although it can be scary, although it can be hard, although your body will naturally want to retreat into its comfort zone, it really truly is freedom. You liberate yourself from the cage that you were put in, like a bird, you know, it's very metaphorical, or like a caterpillar morphing into a butterfly. It's very liberating. It's freedom, it's not rebellion. Once you've identified your true values, it's time to protect them, okay? This is a very important part. Physically, emotionally, and spiritually speaking, protecting your peace, protecting your truth is so important because that's the core of who you are. That's your foundation. And when that's shaken up, you're more susceptible to other energies, like you were when you weren't validating yourself. So how do we do that? Boundaries. I know we love this word. And get used to it. Get used to it, okay? Like I said, you're preaching to the choir. I was a chronic people pleaser all of my high school years, okay? Horrid people pleaser. And as women too, we're a lot more likely to be people pleasers. There was a study done by a feminist philosopher and she went into this. Basically, men are a lot more confident with taking up space. Women will naturally retract and retreat and try and make themselves small because our body keeps score and our body is a physical representation of what's going on internally, right? So think of turtles when they retract in their shell. They're hiding, they're protecting themselves, they're self-soothing. When we do this, it's self-soothing, right? When we just want to like coddle ourselves, we're soothing ourselves from something, versus a man has no problem being like, here I am, make way, make way. And that's a very important thing to acknowledge, because for women, we are going to want to make it easier for other people in our life. In our life, we want to make it easier for other people to come in and affect our space. Do you think a man would ever do that? And anybody that lacks the emotional intelligence to realize that setting boundaries is not about shutting people out is not your person. You don't want anything to do with them, okay? It's not about any of this that people love to do when you start making decisions that are actually benefiting you. It's about defining what is acceptable in your life based on what you value. Setting boundaries is saying, this is who I am, and I'm willing to say no. I know that's such a hard word. I'm willing to say no if something goes against it. It took me a long time to be unapologetic about my boundaries, because like I said, I didn't want to inconvenience people. It's a very uncomfortable, awkward position when you know you have to stand up for yourself. But the thing is, you usually feel really awkward around the people that have caused you to have boundaries. It's like you feel bad for protecting yourself from the people that made you have to protect yourself in the first place, and then these are the people that get angry. It's like, oh my god, the consequences of your own actions. What a crazy thought. What a crazy thought. So just as a general statement, the people that are usually going to give you a lot of grief about your boundaries are going to be from the people that are now inconvenienced from your boundaries. Definitely emotionally unavailable or not emotionally intelligent. They have no self-awareness and emotional awareness. They usually lack a lot of empathy, and they're quite selfish. And then will gaslight you and telling you you're selfish for putting boundaries in. Don't listen to them. They're going to be your narcissists. They're going to be people that like a big power dynamic, like to be in control, have a big ego, a lot of pride, all that jazz. Those are going to be the people that usually give you problems with it. But let me tell you, when you have boundaries in your life, when you're validating yourself, you don't have room for these people anymore in your life. No matter what you do not shrink, do not back down. You're a lot stronger than you think. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're a lot stronger than you think. And this is so important for your well-being. It's not selfish to put your mental health, your mental sanity first. It's not selfish. It will never be selfish, because when you can do that properly, you have the energy and the love in your heart, the unconditional love, to pour that back out into other people. Selfish people are sucking the life out of you. They're just taking and taking and taking and taking. But then they don't do anything to transmute that back into the world. They're just sucking that up because that's their life force, okay? You are your own life force, and you need to pour back into yourself. When you're putting these boundaries into place, use I statements when communicating your boundaries. For example, I feel uncomfortable when, or I need some time to process. Because the thing about setting boundaries too is people can feel very attacked, right? And our ego hates to be put in a corner or hates to be accused of something that could make us seem at fault or wrong, or that we have any flaw in the world. So to kind of gently lay down your boundaries properly, saying things in certain languages can help get your message across much better. And that's something I actually learned in a critical thinking course. The tone of your voice and the words you use to get your point across can either help you or harm you. So you have to be very analytical about the certain techniques that people can put into place to help persuade you a little better, okay? So in this scenario, putting boundaries in place, we're trying to take the pressure off it feeling like confrontation and more about the gentle self-advocacy of boundaries, because that's what they really are. It's self-advocating for yourself. But if the person you're telling them to feels like less of the pressure, less of the fault, less of the blame is on them, then they're gonna have an easier time understanding. We have to talk about breaking free of one of the most common habits of a person that doesn't validate themselves: people pleasing. People pleasing is a form of seeking validation because you don't trust yourself enough to be enough on your own. But we're gonna flip that today. I would also like to point out that people that people please or overcompensate a lot tend to have mother wounds. happens in their life. Another good exercise that I would invite you to do is to research all the common symptoms and tendencies of people with mother wounds. This is something I did. I'll try to find it, but the picture that really resonated with me was like this checkbox of all the tendencies that usually come with people that have mother wounds. And I remember looking at this list and being like, check, 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 like just going down the list like, oh my god, like I got some stuff I need to work through. And on top of that too, I think it was really helpful for me to understand the different archetypes of parents. So I think there's 4. One's like an avoidant parent, one's an overly attached. It obviously goes a lot deeper than what I can remember off the top of my head, so I'll put it over here. So the first part for my experience in letting go of people pleasing was identifying the root cause of where my people pleasing tendencies came from. Like I said, getting that critical thinking mind working. So what if instead of aiming to make everyone happy, your goal was to make yourself proud? I know that we can both understand what it feels like to live by the values of other people, doing things that make other people proud of you, but not you proud of you. First of all, you gotta catch yourself when you're making decisions that are not for you, which was all step 1 and 2. A great example is like someone invites you to something, hey babe, wanna come out this so-and-so night? And your immediate reaction in your body says no, but you say yes out of guilt. That's something you can really easily catch yourself like, oh no, I don't wanna go. My body told me I don't wanna go. I feel it in my gut, so you should not go. And more importantly, you don't need to give this 5-story scroll page declaration of independence on to the person as to why you don't want to go. Just say no thank you. It's literally that simple. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. And going back to our previous point in the tactics of critical thinking, there's a way you can put that to not only make yourself feel better but the other person. So my favorite trick in the book is to always give someone a praise or a compliment whenever you're saying something that involves a boundary. So I really appreciate you taking the time to think of me and invite me to so-and-so event, but I have to kindly decline. It's revolutionary. Another example can be if a guy comes up to you and is hitting on you and you're just not interested. I really appreciate you taking the time to come up to me. I know it takes a lot of confidence to do what you just did, but that's not something I'm looking for in my life at the moment. It's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone because you're going to feel so incredibly proud of yourself after that moment. I'm getting excited talking about it because it's so true. Like that's one of the most liberating feelings of like, oh my god, I finally did something for myself and I did it with confidence and I did it in a way that no one is freaking out. The world's not ending. Oh my god, would you look at that? The world doesn't end when you are not kissing the ass of every single person in your life. It's crazy. I know. When you truly love yourself, when you truly like yourself as a person, as an individual, it literally does not matter what anyone else says about you, what anyone else thinks about you. I am so sure in who I am. I am so sure in the woman that you see right now on your screen. I am so sure of her. That rhymes. It's crazy, but I really don't care. To me, protecting her is the most important thing, okay? And like I said, I had a lot of trouble growing up with never fitting into the boxes that society put me in. Naturally, I never really cared to fit in. It didn't make me feel good, but I still had so many people-pleasing tendencies because I wanted people to like me. I wanted people to like me because even then, I knew I was such a good person and I had a lot of love in my heart to give, but I just ended up being drained all the time because I was giving my life force energy to these people that, 1, didn't deserve it, and 2, were just using and abusing it. And for many years, that was my form of validation. Now, I validate myself. And the truth is that the only people in my life are my mom, who's my absolute best friend, my family in general, and then I have my best friend from the 4th grade, who is like my sister, so I consider her part family, and then our other mutual friend. What that also means is I spend a lot of time alone, and naturally, when I'm speaking to people that are not validated in themselves, they cannot fathom. They can't fathom it. They get really sad for me when they hear that, because they're like, oh my god, like, but there's someone out there for you. Like, don't you wish you had someone? Da, 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 da. And I'm like, first of all, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. So it's not that I'm shutting out everyone from my life, being like, no, bad, stay away, I'm protecting my peace. It's like, I am who I am. I'm set in who I am, and my energy just naturally does not sync up with a lot of people. That's the truth. It's not I don't want people in my life. It's people can't handle being on my life. We're just not a match. We're not on the same wavelength, and that's okay. I literally am so happy with my life right now, and there's nothing I can say that can make someone that doesn't understand and get it. but at the same time, I don't feel the need to convince them because I know this is my truth. My truth is that I am happy with where I am. I'm full of so much love in my life, in my corner. All the relationships in my life are extremely healthy. I never fight with anyone. I never have drama with anyone. No one is draining my energy, and I am constantly working on being a better version of myself. So even in the challenges and the obstacles that I have, they're all within myself, and they're all things that I can work through because I love myself and I like myself, and I have the tools to get through them in a healthy manner, to understand what thoughts are mine and what thoughts are not mine. Which leads me to my next point. Actually, I had this epiphany today. I swear to God, like it was so crazy because I'm very sure of myself, but it's been an uphill battle to also be sure of myself. While I was confident in my potential and my abilities and my actions in the physical world, things that I can control, things that I can do, all of that I was always very confident in. But when it came to the internal things, I was never very sure of it. So was I loved? Was I accepted? Believing in myself, trying to climb towards my goals. Can I do it? Can I make it? All those internal like little dialogues that creep in your ear and keep you up at night, those are all the things that I really struggled with. Listen, I'm human, so you're always gonna have those chit chats with yourself. You just learn to deal with them better. But one of my biggest ones was always struggling to fully believe in myself, fully step into that power that I feel like I have right now when I'm talking to you. And literally this happened today. This literally happened today. Okay, I watched this video, this tarot video on TikTok. Oh my God, it was like the way he said it, just like something lit up in my brain. He was basically like clocking me, being like, stop doubting yourself, like you have to believe in yourself. And he said the doubt that's planted in your mind is not yours. It's like people want you to doubt yourself. There are so many people that want you to doubt yourself, that don't want you to come into that power, right? And I like took a step back and I was like, oh my effing God, he's so right. Like the doubt that it's planted in my head is not even my doubt. It's not even coming from me. It's not even coming from me. This is a belief that I have taken on from other people. Oh my God, like the epiphany hit me so hard because the thing is, like I said, I've always been very confident in my actions. I've always been a very hardworking, determined person. I've always had a very strong sense of resilience. I've always been very good at adapting to different situations, but I've always had a very hard time believing in myself, getting to my success, even though I was always really confident and being able to take the actions to get there. And today it really effing hit me that the years of self-doubt that have been planted in my head are not mine. And that finally clicked for me because I've never given myself a reason to doubt myself. Not one. I swear to God. I've never given myself a reason to doubt myself. Everything I said I would do, I have done. Every single manifestation that I've written down, that I've journaled, that I've prayed for has come true or is in the process of coming true. And I know that because I've seen the signs and the results and the growth that has happened in my life. I've always been extremely smart, extremely successful. I've put myself in so many different leadership roles and I've had so many different opportunities. I've always been a straight A student, extracurricular, top of the class, like everything. So I've literally never had a reason to doubt myself, because whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a career goal, whether it's a spiritual goal, everything I've set my mind to or I've put a lot of hard work and effort in has always given me fruitful results. So why have I spent so many years and had such a roadblock doubting myself? It doesn't make sense. And it finally makes sense. It finally makes sense to me. There has been this seed of doubt planted in my space for so long by other people, whether that was the reactions or the opinions of people in my childhood or my young adult life or in high school, or just people projecting their own doubt to me or sending me that energy, people literally preying on my downfall at night. All of those things have comprised themselves into this seed of self-doubt in my head, and I feel like today I finally have breaken free. It's crazy. Like I can't even believe it took me this long to realize it. It's just simply not mine. They're not my thoughts. It's not my belief system that's true to me, what I value. It's not the philosophy I ascribe to. It's not mine. So I just beg you to realize that. If you're someone that struggles with the things that I struggle with, the doubt's not yours. And when you realize that, you can let it go. It doesn't belong to me. So I'm sending it off to the universe with love and grace, and That's it. So now take me, for example. I have come into this new truth in my life. When you become so set in your values, what happens is your chakras become so aligned, you are not going to believe how easy it is for you to now manifest things in your life. We have 7 like general or main chakras that go down our spine. The first starts at the bottom of our spine, and it's our root. Then we have the sacral and the navel. We have our solar plexus right in between the ribs. We have our heart. We have our throat, our third eye, which is our pineal gland, and our crown, okay? Our sacral chakra and our throat chakra are very connected. They all work in this system, and you have to raise the vibration of each one individually from bottom up before you can fully ascend, right? So you have to work from the bottom up. Most people are stuck in the bottom 3. That's because they are the ones that are most tied down to the physical realm. Your crown chakra is strictly all spiritual. Your first 3 are all tied down to the physical world, our human body, our physical, our material, all that jazz, right? So your root, its job is to keep you surviving. So it's strictly thinking about your ego and staying in comfortability out of survival. Think about it like the chart, like that meme chart, like the more you fuck around, the more you find out. Your root chakra doesn't want to fuck around or find out. It wants to stay in its nice little box and keep you safe and sound, okay? Your sacral chakra is all about your creativity, your sexual, sensual energy, your passionate, fiery side. It's metaphorically creating life, creating new projects and ideas, but also like physically, that's literally the part of you where you create life. When you are tuned in, all of that life force energy can be manifested in the physical through your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is what makes all of the life force energy and all of the manifestations and all of the creative juices and ideas that flow in your sacral happen in the physical, okay? Because when your throat chakra is aligned, you can speak your truth, you can speak and come into your authenticity. So you have to make sure your root chakra is intact, you have to make sure your sacral chakra is intact, your solar plexus, which is all about your confidence and your self-esteem, and all of that energy has to transmute through your heart and then through your throat. So you can speak about all your creative energies, all your passions, all your authentic ideas with love through your heart and then out into the world. When your throat chakra is aligned, you're liberated. Like I said before, you're free to be able to speak. You have that freedom now to be able to speak, okay? Freedom of speech. This is where it's at. And that's how we manifest, right? Like the power of our tongue and the words we speak, the words we say, that's constantly manifesting in our reality. So when you're able to speak from such a high, strong place of authenticity, it's going to be very, very easy for you to manifest. Sometimes it freaks me out how easy it is for me to manifest. But the reason why I can sit down here and film this video with such power that I feel internally is because I'm speaking through my throat chakra. All of it's coming from here, but it started down here. Also, hold on, look at my dress. Isn't it so cute? This is from Frankie's Bikinis. I love it so much. There is a very strong connection scientifically between your gut health, your gut microbiome, and your brain health. That's why gut feelings are a real thing. And you can turn to spirituality or science for this. It's a cold, hard fact that your sacral chakra and your gut is where your intuition lies. And it is never wrong. It's never, ever, 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 ever incorrect, okay? And also, fun fact, a lot of your serotonin lives in your gut. So when you take care of yourself internally, when you're focusing on healing your lower 3 chakras so that you cannot live caged up in them, you're actually scientifically taking care of your mental health, okay? Your body will know when something is absolutely wrong for you. And your job now is to never question that. And your boundaries will help you stay firm in them. Your body will know what is meant for you, and it will always make it very clear to you. We have been conditioned to not listen to that because people that want power and people that want control over you do not want you to be sure of yourself. They do not want you to listen to your gut health. That's one of the biggest power tactics society has implemented in all of us. It's to take care of others before we take care of ourselves. Put others' needs before your own. Like, that's what it means to be a good person. But this is where I want you to critically think. Who is that coming from? What source is telling you to do that? It's not benefiting you to constantly give away all your life force energy, to do things that your body is telling you is wrong for you. That's not right, that you shouldn't be doing that. But who does that benefit? People that want to control you, want to use you, take advantage of you for their own power and personal gain. I'm sorry, not in this house. Not in this house. It's not gonna happen. Your body will know who, what, when, where, why, how. Everything. It'll know what's wrong for you. It'll know what's not meant for you. And you have to listen to it. You have to listen to it. It's time. It's time you start listening to the inner goddess that lives within you, that God source that lives within you, that knows what's best for you. It's time to start listening to that. And when you can do that with confidence, you're validated in yourself, and you don't care to listen to other people because you know how ballistic it sounds to constantly give your life force to other people and live by their rules, live by their playbook. Those are the selfish people. Those are the people you need to look out for and say, absolutely not. A real selfless person would never ask you to jeopardize your own mental health, your own happiness, would never ask you to limit and lower and dim the light in yourself. They would never ask you to not tap into that God source, to not tap into that creative energy, to not speak your truth, be in your authentic self, because that's where the power lies. A truly selfless person would never ask you to do that. They would encourage that. They would bring that out of you. They would support you in that journey. To me, when I rise up, you rise up. I'm not selfish for putting myself first, but I can guarantee you I'm making more of a difference right now being selfish with myself, filming this video and helping people like you and me than they will ever do. Because what are they doing? Sitting there judging other people, bringing other people down. That's not who I want to be. That's not my truth. That's not what I value. And I will never, ever, 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 ever let someone like that tell me I'm selfish. There's a reason why when you're on a plane and your plane is going down, you have to put on your oxygen mask first. You can't help other people if you are literally dying. And you're dying every day, validating other people before you validate yourself. You're dying every day, waiting for other people's approval to live your life. Oh my God. It makes me so angry. I get so passionate about it because you deserve more than that. You deserve more than that, and the only person that's going to give it to you is yourself. So it's time for you to wake the fuck up. Wake up! Snap out of it. This is the type of video that I can make into 20 parts, and I actually made it tonight because I was met with so much overwhelming love on my last video. I was like, I need to get something out next to immediate for you. First of all, I just want to say thank you. It makes me genuinely emotional. Not ew. Your emotions are important, but it genuinely makes me so emotional reading your comments, to know, first of all, that you feel comfortable enough telling me all the things that you've been through in life, opening up that side of yourself, and then saying like, thank you for helping me through this. Like, that's I was not expecting to cry tonight. That's why I do what I do. That's always why I will do what I do. And like, your comments like that give me the faith that I've lacked for so long in myself. You are the reason why I keep going, because yes, this is what I love to do and this is what I'm passionate about, and like, this is my dream. But my dream at the end of the day is you. Like, you are everything to me. I just want to help you, and I want to be a light for you, and I want to teach you the things that I had to learn on my own and that I had to fight for on my own, because it's not easy. Like, it's a very, very long, hard journey. This is my why. This is my why. I also wanted to film it because I wanted to try something different, and I'll kind of open the floor to discussion now. One, do you guys like shorter or longer videos? I typically like to keep my videos in like the 10 to 15 minute mark, but with topics like this, it's kind of harder to do that. And two, what kind of editing style do you like? Because when I compare myself to, let's say, the Wizard Liz or Persephone's Mind, YouTubers that kind of talk about the same thing, their videos are usually longer, obviously, and also they don't have a lot of jump cuts and edits in them. It's just them kind of naturally talking at their own speed and pace and with their own pauses. I'm in the YouTuber habit of jump cutting all the time to keep people's attention span, but I got a comment on my last video being like, hey, the jump cuts for this type of thing, like, you don't need that. People are here to stay and watch and listen to you talk. Like, that's the point of these videos, is you don't need to worry about like people's attention spans. But I also had another girl be like, no, I like the jump cut. So just let me know. I'm always growing as a person, and I will continue to grow as a person, not only for myself but for you and for this channel and the things I talk about and the content I make. I always want to continue improving and learning and doing better and being better. That's one of my really important values in my life. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm always open to suggestions and listening listening to what you need, because this is what I want to do, serve you. And also, if you have any topics you want me to talk about, I would love to hear what you want to see. Wow, that was a roller coaster, but it feels really good. It feels very liberating. And now I just am gonna sign this video off like I always do, saying I love you and I'm so thankful you're here. Thank you for supporting my channel and supporting me in this content. If you like it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and of course subscribe to never miss a new video from yours truly. This is another thing, sorry, I'm keep adding to my train of thought, but this is another thing I want to talk about. Since I'm really honing in on my niche now, I don't know if my uploading schedule is gonna change. It used to be Tuesdays and or Fridays. I still kind of like Tuesdays because I can call them Transformation Tuesdays. So you can expect a video like this every Transformation Tuesday, and then anything additional like vlogs or hauls or whatever I can post on Fridays or on Sundays, whatever day. I haven't decided yet, but I think I'm gonna stick with Transformation Tuesdays. So that's what you can expect from me every week, a Transformation Tuesday video. If you like that, also let me know down below. I'm just sending you so much love and healing. I'm really happy that we could share this moment together. A very beautiful, sacred, special moment that I will never forget. And I'm just sending you so much love. I really am. And I love you. And I'm wishing you so much love on your healing journey. And I'm so honored that I could be a part of it. And I will continue to be here and support you through it all. And as always, I will see you in the next one.